You think becoming a Space Marine in Warhammer 40K is glorious, right? Superhuman strength, massive armor, eternal honor. But in reality, being chosen might be the most horrifying thing a human can ever endure. From an ordinary boy to the Emperor's warrior, the price you pay isn't just blood, but your very soul. Have you ever imagined walking through a dusty marketplace on a forgotten planet, only to feel the cold gaze of a steel eye watching you? In the universe of Warhammer 40K, being chosen to become a Space Marine isn't some grand ceremony in a palace. It happens in the darkest corners, where humanity claws for survival. Being chosen often begins with a fleeting moment, a fight, an act of courage, or simply the ability to endure beyond the rest. Those moments are recorded by sensors, by a chapter scout's lens, or by a commander seeking that rare spark of resilience. There's no interview, no paperwork. Instead, there are trials designed to tear apart human limits. At the most basic level, it's a test of the body, running, climbing, enduring cold and hunger, but it doesn't end with the flesh. Chapters hunt for rare traits, bone density, exceptional eyesight, lightning-fast neural reflexes. They scan genes, take samples, test blood. On some worlds, candidates are taken in the night, awakened by black-armored emissaries, and carried away aboard ships, forbidden to say goodbye. On others, recruitment is public, a combat trial where the victor is pulled from their old life before the eyes of their entire community. The emotions of those chosen vary: pride, fear, even rebellion. Many families see it as an honor, their child becoming part of a living legend. But for others, being torn from their life is a kind of spiritual death. Imagine losing the right to decide your own fate for a distant ideal in the name of the Emperor and being told that from now on, your purpose is to fight. It's a shock beyond words. Leaving your mother, your farm, your small dreams, all traded for ceramite armor and a mission you can't fully comprehend. And just because you're chosen doesn't mean you'll survive. Many are discarded in the next stages. Brutal psychological tests and behavior-shaping trials. Some fail the pain endurance tests. Others crumble under isolation, religious indoctrination, or unrelenting discipline. Those few who make it far enough face the real choice: accept transformation or die as they were. Yet even then, that choice is rarely theirs to make. When the door of recruitment closes, everything familiar vanishes. A Space Marine candidate is no longer a citizen of their homeworld. They become the property of the chapter, a vessel to be reforged. Every trial from that point onward serves one purpose: to eliminate the weak and reshape the survivors. The first days are hell. Candidates are thrown into hostile environments: deserts, icy mountains, toxic jungles, or pitch-black dungeons. No food, no instructions, only one command: survive. Some chapters, like the Space Wolves, cast their candidates naked into the frozen wilderness of Fenris, forcing them to hunt and kill beasts to live. Those who return are not merely strong. They are beings who have tasted despair and surpassed the limits of their own biology. Then comes combat training. Not mock fights or wooden sparring, but real combat. Candidates are given live weapons and pitted against each other in battles to the death. Bloodshed isn't forbidden, it's encouraged. The chaplains observe closely, noting who fights to live, who fights for honor, and who fights out of fury. Those who fight merely to survive fall quickly. Those who fight for faith, even blind faith, are the ones who advance. Psychological trials occur alongside. Some involve being locked in darkness for days, forced to listen to sermons about the Emperor, interwoven with simulated screams from the depths of hell. The goal: break the mind, then rebuild it with absolute devotion. Those with independent thought, doubt, or rebellion are purged, not with words, but with metal and blood. Some chapters even test the candidate's acceptance of death. They are made to stand before a bolter's muzzle, ordered not to flinch or beg. If they step back, they fail. If they hold their ground, they move on to the implantation phase. To the chapter, fear is a luxury no human may carry into war. Each trial doesn't just forge a warrior, it erases what remains of the human being. Memories of family, of smiles, of a past life all fade away. It's necessary, for a Space Marine cannot falter at the sight of death. They must become the embodiment of war itself. When most have fallen, the few who remain are called neophytes, true initiates. They have crossed the line between man and warrior, but have yet to step fully beyond. What awaits them now is not training. but transformation. When a neophyte survives the recruitment, they might think the worst nightmare is over. But in truth, that was only the beginning. The next phase transforms them from a human into something else, a hybrid of flesh and myth. This process is known as the implantation, genetic augmentation. And it is so brutal that even the chaplains regard it as a test of faith. Each Space Marine is implanted with 19 gene organs, the sacred legacy of their Primarch, their demigod ancestor. These organs don't just enhance the body, they reshape the mind. But don't imagine it as a clean clinical surgery. It's a sequence of medical tortures where every cell is rewritten. The first implant is often the secondary heart, a second heart. It allows a Space Marine to live even if their primary heart is destroyed, but the operation is performed without anesthesia. They can feel the alien heartbeat beginning to pound inside their chest, out of sync, like the drumbeat of another creature living within them. Next come the osmodula and biscopia, gene glands that drive bone and muscle growth beyond control. Within weeks, the neophyte grows by tens of centimeters. Their ribs thicken like steel. But the pain is indescribable. Many must be restrained to stop them from tearing at their own flesh during seizures. Some have their spines snap from uneven growth. Others die as their hearts fail to keep up with the transformation. Then comes the catalepsian node, which removes the need for sleep. They can fight for days without rest, but in return, dreams, the last refuge of humanity, vanish forever. Next are the preomnor and omophagia, allowing them to digest anything and even absorb memories from the flesh of their enemies. A terrifying gift, for sometimes those memories don't fade. A Space Marine might feel the dying thoughts of the man he killed, flashing through his mind mid-battle. Other organs follow, the multilung for breathing in vacuum, the Laramens organ to seal wounds instantly, the progenoids to preserve genetic material for future generations. With each implantation, the body changes further, and the mind drifts farther from humanity. When the process is complete, the neophyte is no longer the person they once were. Taller, stronger, faster than lightning, able to crush a man's skull with a single blow. Yet beneath the armor of flesh lies constant pain. Their bodies never stop adapting, always aching, always heavy. Every time they look into a mirror, they see a different face, no longer the boy who was once chosen. And somewhere, deep within those eyes, a flicker of the human self still resists. Weak, fading, but not yet gone. Once the body has been remade, the hardest part begins, the remaking of the mind. A Space Marine is not just strong, he is a machine of absolute loyalty. Every thought, memory, and emotion must be rewritten to serve a single purpose, The process begins with indoctrination, brainwashing through scripture, symbols, and pain. Each day, neophytes listen to endless sermons about the Emperor's glory, about the enemy, about the sin of doubt. Black-armored chaplains walk among them, their voices ringing like hammers striking metal. There is no fear. There is no pity. There is only duty. These words are carved gradually, not just into the mind, but into the flesh. Some chapters employ harsher methods, stimulating the brain with electricity to associate pleasure with obedience and pain with rebellion. Over time, they lose the ability to tell the difference between choice and command. Everything becomes the will of the Emperor. After indoctrination comes hypnotherapy, deep hypnosis. In a half-conscious trance, the neophytes have hundreds of combat skills implanted directly into their subconscious. Melee fighting, weapon mastery, battlefield analysis. When they awaken, they don't remember learning. They simply know. A perfect strike, a flawless guard. Everything flows instinctively, as if they were born to kill. But the most terrifying moment isn't the genetic grafting or the brainwashing. It's the final act, when they are ordered to abandon their true name. The name, the last symbol of self, is erased and replaced with a title of the chapter. The boy who once remembered his mother, his home, a small dream, is gone forever. From that moment on, there is only brother, warrior, or son of the Emperor. Many Space Marines, though they never speak of it, hold on to a fragment of memory. A single image, a phrase, a faint melody. It is never mentioned aloud, but sometimes in the silence of a starship's night, they hear it again, the echo of the soul that once was. When all trials are complete, the neophyte is officially reborn as an Adeptus Astartes, a full Space Marine. They stand in formation, gaze upon the chapter's sigil, and swear in a voice that no longer trembles. For the Emperor. For mankind. Nothing else remains. From a boy, they have become a living instrument of faith and war. A thinking weapon, a killer who no longer dreams. Becoming a Space Marine. It sounds like a heroic dream, doesn't it? But after everything, do you still think it's glory? From a child torn from their home, stripped of humanity, remade into a weapon, a Space Marine stands as both a symbol of victory and a monument to the price of absolute faith. They are beings who know no fear, no pain, no past. Yet sometimes, in the silence of the battlefield, amid the roar of bolters and the thunder of artillery, perhaps somewhere deep inside, a fragment of their human soul still lingers, a fleeting memory of what they once were. And that is their true tragedy. To protect humanity, they must first lose what made them human. If this story touched something deep within you, that quiet place where you wonder, does power still matter when it costs your soul? Then stay. Subscribe and join me as we uncover more hidden corners of the Warhammer 40K universe, where legend, faith, and tragedy intertwine to form one of the darkest yet most captivating worlds ever imagined. And who knows, in those warriors stripped of their humanity, you might just find a fragment of your own.